Andrew in Indiana, you're up.
First and foremost, Mr. Owens, thank you so much for making the time. The amount of wisdom in the last 40 minutes is insane. And I'm actually changing my question entirely because of something you just said. So what I want to know is, what is the question that everyone should be asking you, but they don't?
I think that it's not so much a question, it's that this group has a lot of good people in it. And it has a lot of wise people who have had failures and successes. And if you could find people to talk to in this group and ask questions, and this group becomes really collegial, like, oh, I'm looking forward to your question, or call me. I think that there's people here that can help us not reinvent the wheel in our businesses or in our lives or in our kids or whatever. What did you do? And for me, as I mentioned, mentoring, I had 3 mentors that I had to have when I was pastoring. One, I found a mentor who helped me raise my kids. Like, he had really good kids, and my kids were just giving me hell. And so I went to the guy and said, how come you got such good kids? I'm the pastor, and my kids are going to jail. My kids are running red lights and getting in fights, and they got too much testosterone. How come you got these great kids? So I went to this guy every month. He gave me a book. We had coffee, and he mentored me on how to raise my kids, my 5. I had a mentor for finances. You make money by just looking at it. I don't make money by looking at it. How do you do what you do? Will you mentor me in finances? I went to another one that said marriage. Hey, you got a hot marriage. You know, I got challenges in my marriage. My wife thinks I'm too hard on the kids and blah, blah, blah. What do you do? And I had to find people that I trusted. And I think that this group has a bunch of people that you could really build relationships with and learn from, because there's so much wisdom in this group that Scott's allowed to be put together. So the question I would say is, do you know who's in this group? Do you know what talents are in this group and what history is in this group? How do we find out? How do we mine that so all of us don't have to reinvent the wheel, but learn from somebody versus making a mistake that maybe they made and they could help us with?
I absolutely love that. And as a former Ironman, I'm going to go with Scott. You'll be just fine at 75.
We'll see. You know, that Kona, that swim out in Kona to that boat, it can get pretty choppy out there. My day, you know, I had my goggles kicked off and lost my contact, and I got, you know, I was barely breathing when I got run over. And I went, whoa, this is a trip. And you get out in those lava fields, you know, that wind hits you. And I puked at the top of Javi and lost my chemicals, you know. It was just a long stinking day, you know. And so I passed out in the marathon coming back in. When I was coming back in on the highway, I just fell over in the street, and the ambulance came, you know, and said, hey, we're going to take you away. And I said, but the ambulance has been running, you know, all day long, taking people away. My year, the guy that was the pro who won it the year before me in 2002, he came back in 2003, and he passed out on the highway, and he passed kidney stones. So the guy that won it in 2002 was taken away in an ambulance. We all saw the ambulance, heard the story, went, what about us? Anyway, I stood up. I wouldn't let him take me to the hospital, and I stumbled in and ran the rest of the way and finished, you know, and I went, wow, that was a trip. So I don't know. Hawaii is Hawaii. It's a different animal.
Fair enough.
All right.